Tell another truth, because we are aware that somebody gave us a truth to believe. And we sitting up here arguing about and going back and forth about something somebody gave our grandparents that they handed down to us. I was kind of putting you on the spot right there.
Yeah, because I know there's a whole bunch going on. That's what I like about the NFL in particular. And now it's gotten college season, also college football. Also, it's ongoing all the time. Like it's never a down time. There's always something going on.
Well, yeah. It's and now that they got people like us who trying to be the media, they get an opportunity to keep all that media going. In the midst of creating these off-season stories that they feel are important to their sport per se. So
because they staying relevant even during the Olympics.
And you know what? And that's sad, because I believe that is a level of arrogance and competitiveness. They might not say it is, but it is.
Yeah.
I think that somebody is like, oh, because I don't know if it was purposely, or if it was just like I want to say courtesy to let the Olympics fall back from the Olympics and allow them to have their moment, or was it just the fact that it was airing on a certain channel and it is what it is?
It could have been a little bit of both.
It might have been a little bit of both, and but I know Winter Olympics is the one that hurts the most when they do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got it. Winter Olympics actually, now I won't say hurt, but it will help them if someone wants to constantly watch sports, and they're just an avid sports watcher, and it's just sports. I'm going to really continue to pay attention to the NBA, because when I watch ESPN that night, I'm going to get glimpses of what was going on in the Winter Olympics. Summer Olympics, they trump.
Yeah.
They handle business.
They got it.
That fortnight, they got it. Especially when they start, and I believe that's why they start track and field on week 2.
Yeah, and that's what really that's what captures everybody.
That's what captures everybody. And I wish I could watch it. I wish I could watch the Olympics from I went skiing a few times. I've actually gone skiing. I've actually played in the snow, and snowboarding and everything. But the thing is, I wish I could watch from a perspective of outside of my race color, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I want to know the perspective of waiting to see archery.
Right.
And water polo. So
equestrian. Yeah.
Equestrian. But I'm waiting on track and field because of my culture.
Right.
I'm waiting on basketball because of my culture. So I'm pretty sure they anticipate the same thing we anticipate. And speaking of anticipation, I know you all have been anticipating this show, which is now live. And if you came in of the No Jazz Show, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And you can follow us and watch this show on our YouTube channel at NOJASSSHOW, just like it's spelled on the screen. You can also watch it on our page, and the link is on our page on No Jazz Show. It's also on Huge Electronic. The link is also on the Huge Electronic store, and there's a No Jazz Show 2 page that I just came up with, and also my own personal page, DUPONTZNIVEK. And I'm just going to go ahead and introduce him, the man to my right, my partner, always here to get some insight on sports, Russell Tanker. Tell the people what's going on, Russ.
What's going on, people? What's going on? Glad to have y'all with us on this Thursday night. As Katie said, special edition. Special edition,
and I wanted you to know. I wanted to say his name before I let you know. You can also find us live on his page at RUSELL, Lady Love, the Tanker, Russell Tanker, and catch us And make sure once you do that, please follow. Please go check us out on YouTube and follow. And we can be found also moving forward. We can be found live on Twitch, live on TikTok, live on the Riverside platform. We do have some people coming through on the Riverside.fm platform sometimes, and no live on Instagram, but we also have handles on Instagram at No Jazz Show, the No Jazz Show, and No Jazz Show on X, which is had a few posts come in. You know, now they back moving a little bit. You know, we had a little post come in. You know, we didn't forget about them. You know, I might go back in the warehouse and archive a few. You know, just for the off season love. But at any rate, I guess we want to send our condolences out to a few people. You know, we done lost some people this week. Of course, namely Jesse Jackson, and then there was a Steeler, Rocky
Mike Wagner.
Mike Wagner.
Yeah, don't be killing people off.
Yeah, I'm trying not to kill people off, man. Oh man, it was who was the guy, man? Look, actor guy.
Vanderbeek.
James
Vanderbeek, yeah.
Vanderbeek, yeah, from Varsity Blues. You know,
Yeah,
sports affiliated movie.
That's where I know him from.
Yeah.
Mox. Yeah.
Mox. Right. He also, you know, if you don't know Mox, he also got the whipped cream bikini as well. So you know, man. But you know, as I remember, I just didn't have them written down. I just know, you know, this week has been kind of going through that. Then we also have
Demon Wilson.
He was a few weeks back though.
He was a few. Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Lamont was a few weeks back. Lamont was a few weeks back. The little rapper, some little rapper out of Atlanta, passed away. But at any rate, just been one of those types of weeks. So, you know, I don't want to, you know, go on that without sending my condolences out to the families and anyone that we missed. You know, please hit us in the chat, let us know what's going on. And again, we don't want anybody to ever forget to follow and subscribe, like, comment, and share. Our name, NOJASSSSHOW, which stands for Not Just Another Sports Show. And we're going to start out again. Before we get there, we're going to just make sure you all are well aware of the people that pay bills around here. LYTESNACK, lightsnack.com for all of your food delivery needs. Make sure you go to Light Snack, and when you go to Light Snack, make sure you order those Magic City wings for all of your late night snacks that you may have. Make sure you order those Magic City wings, and don't forget their motto, don't forget to lick the sauce. We also have Bliss Brazilian hair for all of your flow. As we get into going into spring, you know, we getting into March, we might have one more cold day. Can't say that about Tank, but we might have one more cold day. And we moving into that. And if you all missed it, you missed it. So I don't know what you did for Valentine's Day this past weekend, and I don't know what you did for Side Chick Day. But if you did not go, which is the day after Valentine's Day, or the day before, both of them. But whatever you did, if you did not go to QUIKVISITS.com for all your lingerie needs and loungewear for your lady, I'm pretty sure she's on to the next guy at this point. Now
she had somebody in her hip pocket anyway, just in case.
Come on now. Mr. Fruit Arrangement. Mr. Fruit Arrangement was right around the corner, making sure she was straight. Now we about to do what we do. Shoot, about to get ready to slip on out. I didn't know it did that, but we are live now. Let's talk about it, man. I'm gonna jump right in to you know where I want to go.
What is that?
Let's go down to Miami.
Going down south.
We're going down south. We are going down south where they have traded Tyreek Hill. Well, released him. They released Tyreek Hill, and that is, you know what? How do I want to put this? It's surprising that it happened now. But I think they were lingering to I think they already had it in the back of their mind, and they were trying to see if anyone would give them some level of interest in him before they did what they did. But it's not surprising that they're releasing him now, because now they know they're scouting for his replacement in free agency or the draft. So going back to Mr. Hill himself, what do you think his next destination will be, and who do you think is a good suitor for him moving forward? Or is it pretty much a wrap?
I think this shows you kind of, you know, it's a business first and foremost. You never let that get aside, or never let that fly over anybody's head. NFL is a business first and foremost, and they just waited just long enough for Tyreek. Okay, he's walking unassisted now. Okay, good. Now we can cut him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they. Oh, you said he walked. Did he using crutches? Oh, a cane? All right, cut him. And that's what they did. Now I've heard that there's a possibility he might be having another surgery, but whether he does or doesn't, you're looking at a man who's coming back from a dislocated knee and a torn ACL, and I think he tore more than one thing, the ACL and MCL. So you basically talking about basically almost a fully reconstructed knee. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come back this year or if it might be halfway through the season. And if he doesn't have that speed and that burst that make no mistake about it, that's what makes him special or what made him special. If he doesn't have that or something close to it, he's just another under 6 foot, under 200-pound wide receiver that you might just have to put in the slot because he's not going to run by anybody. He's not a threat anymore. And because his speed is what makes him. You didn't think that's why he had the name Cheetah. Nobody talks about Tyreek Hill other than having that speed and being that deep threat. If he is no longer able to do that to scare anybody, his value monetarily and also on a team period, it diminishes, exponentially, because it's not the most gifted natural receiver out there anyway. He's gotten better, but he's always kind of fought the ball. He's not a natural pass catcher. And without that speed, he's really nothing. He's nothing special. But let's say best case scenario, he does come back and he has that speed. Kansas City will probably be the best place for him because
go back to Kansas City.
They know him. He knows them. He's going to have that chemistry with Mahomes. Andy Reid knows what he can do and get out of him. And I think Tyreek will be open to going back. Now, if he is Tyreek of old, San Francisco would be a good fit. San Francisco needs a wide receiver. And my boys, they need a wide receiver. So, there's a few teams that he could go to and really help them out. That's all if he's still got his speed. If he's a 4.5 guy, not the same. If he's a 4.4, okay, that's all right, but that's not the kind of speed that keeps you up at night. If he's back at a 4.3 or 4.2, then you got something you can work with. Carolina could use him. The Saints could use him. Anybody who already has a number one and has a poor number two could use Tyreek.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like I want to go back to your speed. So if he continues, let's just say the range is 4.2 to 4.2 to 4.4, right? Mm-hmm. He gets that back. We're looking at, okay, we understand that now X is still number one receiver is still in the mix. But if he's high 4.4s and above, I don't even think with injury, I think his body is still 4.4 to 4.7 at the slowest. And you have a bona fide one, say Minnesota.
Mm. Minnesota got a 2 already, though. Jordan Atkinson.
But Minnesota. What I'm saying is Minnesota has Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
Does Minnesota have someone that is going to take the safety with them at a 4.5, and you got JJ just getting everything? That's what I'm saying. So even though you have Jordan Addison, we don't know. Dallas doesn't know if they're gonna do Pickens. If you still running top 4.7, if Cheetah taking the top off, CD and anybody else is just playing around underneath that. Now what you're doing if you're playing like that is you're making Tyreek Hill believe, or he's at the understanding that you might be 45 to 50 receptions for the season. This is, what I'm saying, like
yeah. And is he willing to take that?
And is he willing to take that?
And you're talking about the money also. What kind of money are you going to pay? Are you going to sign him to a 1-year deal? Hey, prove it. Let's see what you got. Because he's going to be 32 this year. He turns 32 in March. Right. So you can play around for 1 year or 2.
You can play around in Houston. You can play that game in Houston with him and Nico. Oh, hey, you can play that game in New England.
Yeah. Yeah, because Diggs is gone.
Because Diggs is gone, and he might be able to get in some one sets because they don't really have a bona fide. They just got some youth.
Yeah.
So, I'm just kind of looking at if he doesn't have his old speed, because we don't know if his old speed is injury or his old speed is age.
Yeah, because he's a fast twitch athlete. And also, you got to look at the money because of his age and the money. And he's made a good amount of money. We don't know what he's done with it, but we also know he's got multiple kids that he's got to take care of also. So
you still might be like 5-6 years in the league.
Yeah, that's going to factor into his decision also. I believe that he's going to want to take the highest payout, even if there's not a whole bunch of reward as far as, hey, we're going to win, because he's got those responsibilities he got to take care of.
And I guarantee you, his contract is going to have incentive clauses. Like, he's going to have some serious, get 60 receptions, and we're going to get this how many yards.
Yeah. Get 1,200 yards, get 10 touchdowns, do some damage.
Do some damage. Right. I would play around with the yards, because the yards game is, when I get it, I know I need to be getting going. The reception game is still left up to somebody else.
Yeah.
I would play around with the yards if in the incentive area. I would do that. Now, I guess that's what it was. We're just looking at his possible landing spots. I don't think, does the NFL need him?
No.
That's really what we're talking about. Like, there are certain caliber, and the NFL has actually done a great job of this. There are certain caliber brands of athlete where you're going to land on a team, regardless of what you've been going through, regardless of, as long as your situation is not too hard to bear in the media, such as domestic criminal type stuff. As long as
he's got a few,
and he has a few of those. So we can push you out. But if you're talented enough where you do have that going on, the NFL does not need your name. Like you can do a top 5 NFL wide receivers, and people will be like, so he just got hurt, you're going to leave Tyreek out of this? And they'll be all right. They'll be all right, So I was just wondering if you felt like the NFL needs him, because that's the situation that a lot of receivers who still want to play find themselves in, where the NFL doesn't need you.
Yeah, but I think Kansas City would be a good spot for him to go. I think that would be the best spot for him.
Right. That'd be the best spot. Now, in Miami, his quarterback, somebody else got that out of there too. It was a linebacker.
Yeah, Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Not Nick Chubb. Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb. Got out of there too.
Now he's going to get. Somebody's going to get him. But he got 24 sacks over the past two seasons.
Oh, I think he's going to Frisco.
That he played. Yeah, I could see him. I could see him.
I think he's going to Frisco. I think Chubb. Even though we should have been talking about Tua first, I think our linebackers are so brittle. And then when I say our, I'm talking Dallas. Our linebackers are so brittle, we need depth. We have not had a consistent linebacker stay off IR or miss 4 or 5 games not miss 4 or 5 games in a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so I know he's going to go do some interviews in Frisco. Even if you don't get him, he's gonna do some interviews in Frisco. We need some LBs, and that might be the position where the Cowboys would say, okay, this is where I'll concentrate on free agency, so I can go in the draft and go get my other safety, cornerback, defensive end, pass rusher, for now in the future.
And he could go up the road a little bit and stop off in Jacksonville also.
Could go up the road a little bit, stop off in Jacksonville, because Jacksonville also, and that's what I'm thinking about, the linebacker situations in the NFL.
Yeah, you never have too much edge.
Hey, he might like that humidity. And take that 3-hour drive up to Tampa. They're not needed. I don't know if he's stuck on the tropical side, but
Yeah, because what's his name? Lord is available. Is leaving Jacksonville. He's a free agent. Yeah.
But he has some landing spots.
Yeah.
Now Tua should go compete for the backup job, eventually starting spot, Minnesota, and I'm going to say it's gonna. it's going to be hard for him to push him. But I think it might be one of those Russell Wilson situations, like it's in New York.
Mm-hmm.
He might be able to do something in New York. Either one of them.
My only thing with Tua, well, not the only, but one thing with Tua is he's been in warm weather all of his career. I'm not sure, in high school, college, NFL, he's been in warm weather. I don't know if that wind and that cold weather is going to agree with him in a New York team, with a New York team. And also that team is not good. The Jets are not good. Their offensive line is not good. And Tua had his bell rung.
He might be
an
looking
awful
at
lot of times. Yeah, his main thing for Tua needs to be, okay, of all the teams out there that I might have an opportunity to sign with, who has the best offensive line and the best running game, because he's not in a position right now to carry the load. He needs to be, and I hate to use the term, but he really does need to be a game manager. He needs to be someone who the line protects him, the running game is there that he can lean on, and he can be accurate with some passes, infrequent passes. He's got to be protected because he's concussion prone. I mean, that's just a fact. Not just concussion prone, but he's injury prone. He doesn't just get hurt; he gets injured. When he gets hit, it looks like he damn near died. It's like the other year when he got knocked out and his body clenched up and his hands went like this. It was like, oh, did he just die on the field? But he was knocked out before he even hit the field, before he even hit the ground. So he's got to be looking at that. He's got to look at scheme and offensive line. And really, who's going to pay Tua more than a 1-year contract, maybe 10 to 12 million? Because we got to see if you can stay healthy. He's had one good year in the NFL. That's what got him paid.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I was going off of your attributes as far as team attributes for where he could go. And this name popped up, but you said something that made me rethink. And I thought about it because of where they are now as far as the division. And what I mean by that is the NFC West.
Mm-hmm.
And NFC West being San Fran, Seattle,
Arizona.
Well, I'm gonna say Arizona, but who that for?
Frisco.
No, I said San Fran.
The Rams.
Los Angeles Rams. And Kyla Murray makes me wonder, okay, will we go out and get a clone? Well, a more pocket Kyla Murray, meaning the stature.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Kyla Murray always out too. Questionable because, are we traumatized by the small guy? Because Jacoby Brissett is not going to take over that spot. They probably, where are they picking in the draft? Let me see.
What, the 8th, 7th?
They high.
8th or 6th? No, are they 4th?
And they got a young receiver that they need. Yeah, they third. So
yeah.
They might be looking at Mendoza or somebody. You know what I'm saying? They might be like pushing quarterback. And that's why I said what I said. Like, it might be an opportunity because if you pick a quarterback at third, and I'm just hypothetically saying they go with Mendoza. And this is not me even saying Mendoza is worth the third. I'm just talking about you are pushing the ideology that you need a quarterback. You're going to get Tua because you can't keep Kyler Murray and say, hey, I want you to groom. Nah, that ain't happening. Like, you gotta go ahead and get him out of there because you don't want that friction. So you got to get a Tua who's in a more desperate position than a Murray. Hey, you come in here and start a few games, get this little young man ready to take over, and you understand that's what you're doing. I can see that because he's a more pocket passer than Kyler Murray, but it's not what you want for the future either.
Yeah, and they've got no line either. So Murray is hurt, gets banged around a lot. Tua is going to get banged around even more because he can't get out the way. And I mean, they've got a good tight end in Arizona. Yeah.
Second pick in the draft. I mean, if they look at quarterback, they need to be talking quarterback because they got a wide receiver out there.
But he's not been. I mean, he's flirting with the.
No. He's flirting with the B word. Here's what's happening. He's flirting with the B word and is going to get the excuse, I've never had a quarterback. I guarantee. he's still going to. They're going to allow him that grace. He could have easily been. A D Hop or a JJ Jettas, who can, no matter who the quarterback is, we straight. They're not going to judge him off that. They're going to say he's never had a consistent quarterback to groom him, because you're right. He's skating. He's skating on that. And even in the draft class this year, he can still have that excuse, because it's not quarterback heavy.
Yeah, there's no quarterback. There's Mendoza, who's going to go to the Raiders. Then you got
Still think he's going
Simpson.
to go to the Raiders.
You got Simpson from Alabama, who is really a low first round pick, in my opinion, at the most. And if they were to grab him at 3, that's what you really call overreaching, because there's nothing special about Simpson, and he's only played once. He's only had one season, so 300 some passes, so he's not ready anyway. And now with the new offensive coordinator, what's his name? God.
For Arizona?
Yeah, the offensive coordinator, Paul Hackett.
Paul Hackett, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, come on, man. So Arizona's screwed anyway. But yeah, Tua.
Rebuilding time.
Yeah, Tua needs to be coached up as a backup somewhere with the opportunity.
Definitely that.
But I'm worried about his health. Seriously, I'm worried about the next hit to it might be his last one. It might be, okay, my bell's ringing and it's still ringing, and it's been 6 months. He might be like Cap Rooney in Any Given Sunday, and my vision's cloudy, my head's ring, I got these headaches, I got brain fog, I don't know if I can get through this. That's like Tua, if he gets one more shot.
I feel you, man. And before I make that last statement on that, I want to make sure everyone knows that we are live on all platforms, that being Twitch, that being Facebook, that being YouTube, that being TikTok. Make sure you follow and subscribe, like, comment, and share as we continue on with the No Jazz Show live. Now, lastly, on that subject, who's risking Tua?
The Jets, because they're the Jets. They got to have, what is it from Raising Canaan? The streets need a body. The Jets need a body. The Jets need a body, and it's not going to be a lot of money to get Tua there for a Justin Fields type deal. 2 years, $30 million. 2 years, $20 million. 1 year, $10 million. Because there's Tua's track record, injury-wise and production-wise, with the exception of that 1 year, does not bode towards him getting a big deal. Hey, you get a 1 year proof it. You get a Daniel Jones deal. You come here and win it. If you win out, we'll do something with you. We'll extend you, because he's a damn gamble, man. He is a true gamble. Every hit really and truly could be his last.
In every aspect of gamble, he's a gamble. Now, speaking of gambling, and I kind of like it. I kind of like it because I don't like it, but I like it. But I understand, but I don't like it, but I like it. But I like it. But I don't like it. I want to get that straight. But here's what I'm saying. Super Bowl MVP. This joker 23 years old, Kenneth Walker. They put him in free agency. See, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's crazy. See, I said this on the last episode. Make sure you catch that last episode. I said this on the last episode. We be hanging on to these players off name too much. And I wish I had the data to say, okay, let's look at what they did, productivity, when we released them, and what they did if they would have stayed, right? Those who stayed, that extra, and those who we released. I think these teams are the best assessors of what they see. See, we sitting on the couch, fans, oh, Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. Why would you do that? And this is not me knocking Kenneth, because he's still young. My thing is, I should not be able to, because that's what sports is. Sports be lingering. Don't be letting people go. The people who know are saying, hey, your value to us based upon what we need in order to keep moving forward. And we've seen what it is. And we got somebody behind you that probably didn't get the touches, and we feel they can do the same thing. Remember that train? I want to go back a few years ago. Remember how that train was moving after Clinton Portis in Denver? And it seemed like any back to get back there. And, so I'm not saying that's what Kenny is, but I don't like it, but I like it.
I tell you why I don't like it. And I'll start with like you said. Hey, we got another back. Chardonnay blew his knee out, so you're gonna be risking putting your running game in the hands of a guy who's not even gonna be a full year removed from blowing his knee out. Chardonnay looks good as a better pass catcher, but he didn't have it before the injury, and I doubt he has it after. He didn't have the burst and that speed that Kenny Walker had. Kenny Walker is only 23 years old. Kenny Walker has been productive in spite of the offensive line not being great the previous years. Kenny Walker hasn't been hurt. Kenny Walker, when you fed him the ball in the postseason, when there was nobody else you could give it to, you could split the load. He put up over 100 yards in every game. He powered your offense to winning the Super Bowl. And it's not, and I'm not on it. Well, he's Super Bowl MVP. You got to keep him. You got not that. I'm looking at the back. I'm looking at what his intangibles are. I'm looking at his age. Why would you? I don't think you should let him go. I think you need to keep him. Sign him to a 3. You go ahead and do like this because they already like the shortchange running back. Running back is finally starting to make its return, and a good running game is your quarterback's best friend because you can hand the ball to him. You can toss it to him. Kenny Walker needs to improve as a receiver, but that's not why you're paying him. That's not why he's back there. He's a bell cow running back. He runs hard. He's fast. He's got legit breakaway speed. He's got vision, and you saw, particularly in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, he continually was able to pop it outside when you didn't think he should be able to because he's got that kind of speed, and that kind of speed doesn't grow on trees. I think they need to go ahead and sign him to a 3-year deal, possibly, or 3 or 4 year deal, and see how it works out. Because Seattle's gonna look a whole lot different without him in the backfield. And I'm also sure they're looking at, hey, JSN finna ask for some money, and we need to make sure we got all we got. Because Darnold is signed. This will be his second year of his 3-year deal. So they don't have to worry about Sam Darnold. He's on a team-friendly contract, only $30 million a year. They're gonna have to pay JSN. JSN is also effective because their running game. You got, like we always like, you got triplets. You got JSN, you got Darnold there now, and you got Walker in the backfield. I don't believe that you should mess that up. So yeah, I would keep him. But in the meantime, since they are not going to franchise him, Pittsburgh, y'all need to get on the phone. Free agency starts next month. As soon as the clock strikes midnight, there needs to be an offer sheet to Walker's agent. Hey, he go $40 million for 3 years with 30 guaranteed. Come on up to Pittsburgh. We love running backs.
Let me tell you what's going on. Let me tell you what's going on, right? In the midst of all of the running back value that has gone up, I'm looking at it like this, and I totally understand where you're coming from. Kenny Walker, 2022, second round, 41st pick. Look at the value they got out of him on a rookie contract. There is only one. They have 5 projected running backs, and we're not saying it's not a strong running back year. I got to go back and look at what the 2022 running back year was looking like, and because Kenny at Michigan State was not bad, he was not bad. What I'm saying is, in the second round, with all the pieces that we have in place, and making sure we have our wide receivers money, Jeremiah Love is like the only one they projected to go in the first round, and you still have 4 running backs. 4 running backs. You got 4 running backs and a cheap Rico Dowdle who will come back to Dallas or whatever the case may be, maybe Seattle. That's what I believe they're saying. They're saying we don't want to get caught up, or we want to see that if the luck of the draw will have us play plug and play, and we can get us another possible Kenny Walker, second round, third round, fix all this stuff around him. Because I think what they're going to do in this year's drafting as low as they are, they're probably going to go edge just to get younger, or go offensive line with that first pick. They go offensive line, they're getting another running back if they don't get one in free agency. So, like I said, I like it, but I don't like it, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm one of those. He's young.
Even though he's young.
The formula works. Hey, go ahead and get it. He doesn't have it's not like he's got a whole lot of tread on whole lot of wear and tear.
Isn't it two formulas though?
Yeah, but you don't. But it's an unknown. It's an unknown if you go and draft this guy and he doesn't pan out. And you see Kenny Walker putting up 1,300 yards for somebody else and 10 touchdowns, and you saying, "Man, look at that."
I mean, that's
yeah. I would keep what I know.
Damn it, that's just what it is.
Yeah, I would keep what I know that I've got.
All right, now, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to elaborate because I don't know. I don't follow what's going on in Pennsylvania. And when I say in Pennsylvania, I don't follow what's going on in Pennsylvania at all. Mostly from your little sister. I can't stand your little sister. So you tell me what's going on. What is going on in Pittsburgh? Please let the people know.
It's good to talk. It's nice conversation. It's a good topic and all that. But it is worth talking about. I will say, I'm gonna say this first and foremost. Nobody who's being discussed and nobody who's talking is an active player on the roster. So it really don't mean a damn thing to the team, to be honest. You know what I mean? James Harrison is not playing. Joey Porter is not playing. Ben is not playing. Marquise Pouncey is not playing. They have nothing to do with the product that's going to be placed on the field next year. Now, that being said, I agree with what James Harrison said about Joey Porter going against the Brotherhood, and I also because
explain. I know, but explain because we here at No Jazz have to. Let me tell y'all something. Joey Porter, and Lee Flowers. Them some miles, boy.
Yeah.
Them was the miles. Them jokers would talk. But anyway, explaining how Joey Porter.
I mean, Joey Porter basically came out and said that Ben Roethlisberger wasn't a good person, and that he shouldn't have said the things that he said about Mike Tomlin. That's what all this started because because Ben Roethlisberger and James Harrison both said that they thought that
Mike Tomlin
was time for him. He probably better served being elsewhere. And also Harrison said that he thought that Tomlin was a good coach. He didn't think he was a great coach, and he didn't think he was a Hall of Fame coach.
What you think about that? Because he doesn't have, and I think this goes back to that conversation we had last episode. He said he doesn't have any disciples.
Yeah, that, and also his regular season record, you can't fault him for that. His postseason record is where Tomlin falls short when if you want to start saying elite in the postseason, because we know your money is made, your reputation is made in the postseason. You can be a good or a great regular season coach, but playoffs, you need to at the very least be a 500 coach, but ideally above 500. He's got 2 Super Bowl appearances. He won one and he lost one. Thank you, Rashad Mendenhall. But so he had. I think there's some credence to that, to that aspect as far as Tomlin. If you want to, pick it, say there's a chink in the armor. But I think that Porter, and the thing that the Steelers have always been good at doing for the most part, is keeping things, behind closed doors, even if not just current players but past players. You don't hear any other Steelers of the 70s saying or talking negatively about anybody who was on their roster. You don't.
The Steelers of the 70s don't know how to work their phones.
Hey man, look.
Don't do that.
You need to stop. No, don't you do that. Even back then, in the 80s.
Steelers of the 90s and the 2000s know how to work them phones and get on that internet and on that social media.
In the 80s and 90s, you didn't hear them talking about each other's teammates. And all they ever said, all that you ever hear from them was positive things about them.
How many of them?
Most of them are still alive, so don't even try to do that.
No. How many Steelers? Because I know one. How many Steelers made network panels on sports pundit shows to talk about their? Remember, because this is some gaps. How many of them 70 Steelers made network television sports shows to talk about the fact that they had not showed up in a while?
You got 2.
Terry Bradshaw. And who else?
Yeah. Lynn Swann. But
Dan
My
Swan was
thing,
a
yeah,
sideline guy.
yeah. But my thing is this.
He took OJ's spot a little bit. Come on
Yeah,
now.
but you can't. I think that.
I think them boys were mad too. They was mad. Come on, you can't
Yeah,
act like they was
yeah. But
mad.
I don't think Porter should have addressed that. And my thing is with Porter is he talked about not being a good person, not being a good teammate. He said he was my quarterback. I won my only Super Bowl with him, so I love him. But he was not a good teammate. Porter was only with Ben for 3 years. He saw young Ben. He didn't see older Ben and elder Ben. When he came back as a coach, it was different. He was coaching defense. He didn't have anything to do with what was going on in the offensive game with the offense. Everyone else, no one said. Even AB came out and talked about being a good teammate. We know AB is AB, but he tweeted it out this past week.
Porter got a Super Bowl ring on that first one with Mike T, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, with
Oh, he got the one. He got the one at
Coward.
the end with Coward.
He got it with Coward. Yeah, at the beginning with Coward. At the end with Coward. But I don't think he should have said that because he didn't know Ben who matured Ben. He got young Ben. Now, some people would say Ben wasn't the most chatty guy, friendly, and this, that, and the other. Well, there was younger Ben. Harrison said, I think Ben was a good teammate. Ben's a good teammate to me. Ben's also my friend. Marquise Pouncey came out and tweeted it. If you against Ben, you against me. That's my core. Ben did everything he needed to do. And I think I respect about Pouncey saying that is that's an offensive lineman to the core. Regardless of what happens, you don't say nothing. You don't mess with my quarterback. My job is to protect him on and off the field.
You know they had. Hey, I was listening at this stuff. And I was like, I know they had some fights in them locker rooms. Like I know it's friction.
Yeah.
You know, because there was some success there. So with success, it's behind the scenes friction.
Yeah.
You know, and that's any sport. I get it.
Yeah, I don't think that it should have been aired out. But at the same time, like I said before all of this, none of those guys are on the team, on the coaching staff, or anything. So as far as what goes on this season, that has no impact to anything with that. Nothing at all. It's for lack of a better term, it's a bunch of old guys yapping. You know what I mean? But my only thing with this is with Porter saying that, now it brings up, we already know what happened with Belichick and Kraft as far as not being first ballot Hall of Famers. Now the people saying, okay, you're going to do it to Brady too, because Brady was tied in with all that. Now, does this also affect Ben being a first ballot Hall of Famer? Because, well, they said he wasn't a good teammate. And you know what's really going to happen to Ben, what they're going to discuss his off-field indiscretions in his first 2 years, even though he was never indicted or anything. But I believe that's what's going to come up with him. And I do believe that's why Ben hasn't had any endorsements or anything. Ben just got football money. Ben doesn't have any off the field money. Yeah, I think it's crazy that they did all that and they aired all of that out. I think that's something that should have been handled in the group chat. And I do believe that Cameron Hayward, who it was his podcast that Joy Porter started all that. I believe that he should have done something or said something or made some kind of gesture. It's like, hey, I don't know about any of that. And instead of just letting him go on and talk, because it's a bad look for ex-teammates doing all that. I got guys that I played with that I couldn't stand, but but nobody else outside of teammates, outside of a friend who was a teammate, would know that I couldn't stand that person, that individual. And
hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, man, and you know and I know. Just like I try to tell these people in that in these cowboy group, I call these new type of fans DEI inclusive. We got some real soft people.
Mm-hmm.
We got some very soft people who we've included. I don't know if they was born in the 90s after that, or they always was like that. Even, we have some very soft people who don't understand that there's a type of fan who understands that you, Tank, are rooting for a franchise that don't have that same conversation as Arizona has. We don't have regular season conversations.
Yeah.
We don't have non-opportunity to have a Hall of Fame quarterback conversations. We don't have non-opportunity to have a Hall of Fame running back, lineman, you especially, conversations. We don't have opportunities to have conversations about our coaches. This just started, nothing against Mike T, but this just started in his era. 10 wins. That means we're trying to figure out how to include this as a means of, hey, but we're still this. While you know and I know there's a team out there that almost had 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what this stirred up about. That's
Yeah,
what
I mean,
all of this is brewing off New England. Damn near having 7.
you got some franchises with very few, but you got a
8.
couple
It
of
would have been 8.
franchise. It would have been at a 7.
It'd have been 7. Yeah,
Yeah,
come on now.
but you got a select few franchises who, regardless of how long it's been since they won one, the goal is to win it all every year. That's the standard.
On January football. We don't care about September
all the other stuff
football.
doesn't matter.
All them old DEI inclusive Cowboy fans in these groups you can say that about any team. There's only like 5 that we in the discussion with.
Yeah, there's certain teams
don't get those discussions.
Steelers, Cowboys, now Patriots, and 49ers.
I'm gonna throw Green Bay in there, even though they
and Green Bay. Yeah,
Green Bay, like there's a different type of conversation.
Their thing is, hey, we need to win it all.
Period.
Anything less than that, really, for us, is a failure. For other teams,
it's an award.
Yeah, for other teams, man, well, at least we came up short. We need the Super Bowl is what we're after every year, regardless of what kind of product we put out there. Hey, y'all need to be trying to win the Super Bowl.
Them boys, and see, the Steelers, I like the fact that they're saying what they're saying, and I like the fact that everybody protected everybody on that team. I root for a franchise where I don't want to say nothing about the franchise too tough, because I still want to be able to come back in this glorious facility. You start talking about us, we got too many people who kicking people out for negative vibrations off saying what we saying. See, y'all boys still can go and visit the Steelers. We got some old weak links who be scared to say, no, we got some old weak people where the strong people be scared to say what's on their mind. I want to get that boy. I want to talk to that boy. I want to say something to him, but he making millions of dollars carrying a purse, and I don't know if I really want to give him some pointers on how to get over the hump.
Yeah, the Steelers alumni have a college type mentality.
They got
about
a college type mentality.
They're always there in practice. They would offer guidance to these guys and say, "Hey, man, you want you to do this or just applaud and cheering them on or whatnot." They show up when they come back every year at spring training during training camp. There's a plethora of former Steelers who are there, seeing what's going on and trying to give some motivation. Hey, y'all got to get it up there. The same way Mike Wagner said that, and Franco said, hey, you look at certain players and you tell them, hey, you could have played with us. That's the same thing that's going on
now.
Sign. Yeah.
See, we don't have that in Frisco. Yes, we got the photo op. We have the photo op, sideline, alumni, opportunity. They do show up for the players from a visual perspective. Them boys have adamantly said, I don't really know if I can say anything to them, because they different. I can't speak to them how we spoke to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak to the 70s guys, Bob Lilly and Randy White, them too tall, could come in there telling them, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah.
This ain't it. And we get it. You can't do that now, man. So I understand. I feel everybody's side, what's going on. I understand where they're coming from. But just like I said, you can't have that conversation. That's 2 different conversations at certain franchises.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have that. They're going to have that level of feeling coming out of their heart about them Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I want to ask you before I get into this, Ben Roethlisberger, eligible for the Hall of Fame next year, 2027?
Yeah.
Is he first ballot, or will they dishonor him with you got a blemish on your record?
If these changes they're talking about possibly happening with the Hall of Fame voting go through, I believe he'll be a first ballot Hall of Fame. And I believe that he actually is a first ballot Hall of Fame. I don't think that he should. He's not Eli. He didn't have 2 playoff runs and nothing else. He was steady. He was consistently one of the top quarterbacks. He's got a 5,000-yard season. He's got multiple 500-yard games. He's got multiple 6-touchdown games. He's one of the winningest quarterbacks, not just of his era, but in league history. He's top 6 in passing yards and top 7, I believe, in touchdown passes.
Put him in there. Put him in there before Tom get there.
Yeah.
And let Tom and Eli be, because he's up that era. And I think Peyton, Tom, Big Ben, Drew all need to. That era was bad, boy. They all need to be somewhere floating around in the Hall of Fame.
And also in the era, Kurt Warner's already in there, so he would.
Yeah,
Kurt wasn't shabby.
Kurt kind of was in there. Yeah.
Phillip Rivers was.
See, I was gonna say Phillip.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying put Rivers in. I'm talking about as far as very good quarterback.
Very good. Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot. Even Ryan, Flacco was a winner. I mean,
see, that's why my Rivers little thing kind of playing around.
Because I'm not saying Flacco was a Hall of Fame. I'm saying as far as a very good quarterback who was playing. Yeah.
That ring would have solidified it. Now the ring has you saying you couldn't figure it. You couldn't figure out how to.
You couldn't figure it out once. Yeah.
You couldn't figure out how to get in the game. Well, did he get in the game once? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, ooh.
Yeah. But yeah,
No, but
I think
that's another conversation.
I think get in first ballot. If he doesn't, I believe he'll get in the second year, because I mean it's like, and my thing with Hall of Fame in general, I mean sometimes you have guys who are eligible the first time around, and they are just better and more deserving than somebody who did get in the previous year. If I'm not good enough to get in and on the first, second, third, fourth ballot, what makes me good enough to get in on the fifth ballot?
I'm gonna tell you this: Pittsburgh fans know what is Pittsburgh? An hour or 2 away from Canton?
About 2 hours. Yeah,
he getting in, but they love Canton, boy. Hey, Canton, a Steeler get in.
Yeah,
they don't play around. But
if he gets in, I'm gonna be there.
They know
I'm going if he's there. Yeah, so yeah, I do believe he should be in. I don't believe that what happened, what allegedly and what he was accused of in his first 2 years should be something that keeps him out. Because, and truthfully, that's how I feel. Anything that you did that was off the field, other than gambling on games, shouldn't have any bearing on you getting in and not getting into the Hall of Fame. Because this isn't baseball. Football is based on what you did on the field. It's not a character thing or anything like that.
It used to be. I totally get what you're saying. It used to be, but and I'm not against this. But when they started Pink November, football developed a level of responsibility for everybody because everybody watching. It used to be. So what I'm saying is, I think he gonna get in regardless of that. But they got to get out in front of the news because the news gonna hit, and somebody gonna, you just letting. But anyway, I want to say. You are now watching and still watching the NOJASSSHOW No Jazz Show, not just another sports show. We are live. Find the link on my page, DUPONTZNIVEK. You can also find that link on Russell Tanker's page. We are live on YouTube, live on our Facebook page with that link. No Jazz Show, live on Twitch, live on TikTok, and also Riverside. Make sure you follow and subscribe, like, comment, and share. Join us in the chat. Please. Now, let's bring this up because I want to know. Kansas City is restructuring Mahomes' contract to clear up $40. What you think they're trying to do?
And, if I was a conspiracy theorist, I could say, hey, Pat might have said, hey, Tyreek told me he's feeling good and he think he'll be ready no later than after the first month of the season. Hey, I don't mind giving back some money if we go ahead and sign him and bring him in for 2 years. I mean, Kansas City needs to upgrade offensively and defensively, and that $43 million is really going to help them. I do believe they need a running back. There's one running back out there who really fits well with what they do, and that's Travis Etienne. If Jacksonville does not retain him, even though they should, Etienne would look real good in the backfield with Mahomes, and hey, it would look good. So I think they are already preemptively making preemptive strikes to bring in some top flight talent because they are not going to waste the rest of Mahomes' career. Just well, he's putting up pretty good numbers, but we're not getting to the ultimate, and we don't know how much longer Andy Reid is going to coach. I think they're willing to go. Kansas City is willing to go all in to bring in whatever they need to get them back to the championship level, and they're definitely going to get some offensive linemen. So
AFC West.
I think they're ready.
AFC West, the San Diego Chargers, the
LA Chargers. LA Chargers.
LA Chargers.
Some folks that hit you.
I know, right? Some folks that hit me for saying that. The team to beat. I think they want to get back in that seat as the team to beat. But right now, the team to beat is Denver.
Yeah.
Then you have the Raiders who are going to Raider, but they're going to. The Raiders are saying the Raiders are counting on this quarterback, and we truly believe Genty is that guy that could make a quarterback look better. What do they have at receiver out there? They got somebody pretty good. All your food delivery needs. Make sure you go to Light Snack. That's LYTE snack.com. And make sure for all your deliveries, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you visit Light Snack and they'll deliver it right to your door. And make sure when you get those deliveries, make sure you're ordering those Magic City wings. And remember, their motto, don't forget to lick the sauce.
No, they got a tight end.
They got that tight end.
Georgia, what's his name?
Right.
His name slipped my mind. He was on my fantasy team. Brock Bowers. They got Brock Bowers. They don't have a quality receiver.
They don't have a quality receiver yet. And they can get away with that because he's a short pass guy. You don't need but freed up 43 million, man. Theoretically, I'm looking at it like this. There's a young man out in Frisco waiting to be franchise tag. Think they're gonna franchise tag, but Andy Reid, I got a quarterback out here, man. I like what you're saying about the Tyreek Hill thing. I like that. I'm not against that. But he probably twiddling his thumbs a little bit. This look kind of good. Then there's my theory. The young man that I'm talking about, I ain't gonna say his name. The young man that I'm talking about gets franchise tag, and on draft day, they trade with this team and go get the other boy on the other side. And then we go young and risky. We have two risky wide receivers. We got a young wide receiver in Cornell Tate. And then we flip the franchise tag and slide that money. See, I like GMing like that. I like that old because I get tired of fans and all these pundits believing they know the answers what these people gonna do. And they don't. You start getting used to certain jerseys on the back of shirts, and then you start getting comfortable with that. Now the only thing that messes up my theory with that move is the number 88. You know what I mean? I don't think he pulling up off that brand, but I think Andy Reid and that think team with that somebody saying something, and they looking at that 8th pick, and we can play around. It's some people that'll jump 4 spots for that 8th pick, and we still good at that 12th pick. Still gonna be some people on the board, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that Tyreek Hill. I'm not mad at that at all. But them boys trying to get back in their driver's seat from Denver fast. Like they are not playing around.
Yeah, and James Worthy has to. Xavier Worthy, he has to step up this season. He has to.
And he can. I think he's one of those receivers, and I think that's what they're looking at. Theoretically, if you're talking about offense, I think he's just one of those receivers that I could look so awesome if I actually had a one.
Yeah, because Rice is not. They kept acting like his name is Jerry Rice. His name is not Jerry. Rashee Rice is not Jerry Rice.
Right.
Yeah, but they were acting like we get Rashee Rice back, everything's gonna be fine. No, that ain't Jerry Rice. That's Rashee. There's a difference, and he's not a one.
Not a one. Absolutely. All right, now another guy out there to go along with Max Crosby, Hendrickson. I want to throw Max's name in there a little bit too. Where do you think they end up, and what is the best? Well, I guess what is the best spot for them because their name is buzzing in the free agency.
I think Crosby said that he wants to be a Raider. He wants to stay with the Raiders. But if they don't want to keep him, no, he can go. But The Raiders can use him for draft capital because trade capital because they don't have it. He's the only thing they've got that they can dangle in front of anybody. But he needs to go to a team that's ready to win now. He's getting older. Sending him to another team that's trying to rebuild or trying to get somewhere and is not close, it's gonna do nothing but piss him off. And he'll probably just fight. I can stay here and lose.
He can stay there. He can stay. See, and everybody ain't ever. And he's not Myles Garrett where he's gonna be getting records.
Right.
You know, to camouflage the losing.
Right.
And all the offensive linemen free agents.
Yeah. So I think that Crosby, who knows, they might send him across the country to Washington. But I think that who's the other you asked about?
Hendricks.
Hendricks' issue is he was hurt this year after getting the 1 year deal. He was hurt this year, and he's going to be 32. So now you're looking at a guy who's getting older and was hurt this year. And is his production going to start going down? Is he going to start being more prone to injury? That's what GMs and coaches, particularly GMs, are going to look at as far as if we should sign him. If we're going to sign him to a team-friendly deal, or are we going to really put some money into it? Because he's a late bloomer. He did pretty well in his last year with the Saints, and then when he got to Cincinnati, he took off. But when you watch him, he's a high motor guy. He's got a lot of effort in it, but you don't look at him and say, okay, he's got this particular thing that makes him able to do this. He's not a guy who's fast, who's going to beat you, with speed rush. He's not a spin move guy. He doesn't have Aaron Donald's hands. He just fights and he gets through that. He's got a decent rip move, but he's not. His numbers over the past 3 seasons say elite pass rusher, but he's not elite in as far as his athleticism. So if you can stonewall him, you can stonewall him because he doesn't have those extra special physical gifts that makes him freakish. If you know what I mean. There's some guys that they get off and you just can't keep them off the quarterback because they've got an array of moves. They got speed, they got quickness, they got a spin move, they got a rip, they got a club, he doesn't have any of that. Nobody's studying him to be a better pass rusher. And I'm not saying he's not a good player.
Nobody's studying him. Nobody's studying him to be a better pass rusher. Nobody's studying him to be a better offensive lineman. He's not keeping any offensive lineman up at night. He might keep you up. You might not be able to take that 2 or 3 hour nap. And it's not against Hendricks. But I'm gonna say I made what some people call a racist comment, but it was data to me. Mm-hmm. But I was just wondering, Nick Bosa. Then as far as anchoring the line, you got Nick Bosa. Mm-hmm. Then it tails off for a long time when it pertains to a certain hue defensive end anchoring a Super Bowl team, a Super Bowl defense. That's all I'm saying. It used to happen all the time 40 years ago. In between that, that was still 40 years ago. All them Howies, Howie Long, Steve McMichael. Who my boy with Steve?
Michael was going to go Dan Hampton.
Dan Hampton.
Jim Burt.
AFC Championship game.
Rulon Jones.
Super Bowl, Lyle Alzado, Howie Long. AFC Championship game. At least Mark Gastineau and Joe Klecko. At least conference championship. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, when choosing these guys, that don't mean nothing, and why you got to bring up that? That's all I'm saying. I don't want to. I'll even throw them killer bees in there, even though they don't have a name. Mm-hmm. I'm giving all kinds of props to Bob Lilly and Randy White 60 years ago.
Yeah, that's a
long time.
Hendrickson just works hard. I mean, he works hard, and
I think they be in on too many tackles. Playing up here.
I don't think there's going to be a big market for him unless it's a team that needs to say, hey, we need a bookend. We need somebody else on the other side.
That's all. That's what I'm saying.
We got one. I don't think you're bringing him in at 32 to be your lead dog on the line.
That's questionable to me. If you're trying to win a Super Bowl, if that's your goal, that's all I'm saying. Now
you got Michael on one side, you could bring him in on the other side in Green Bay.
I thought they had somebody on the other side in Green Bay. They lost him, but you can.
Yeah, you could bring him in. He put him in the rotation.
You can't be mad at that. You definitely put him in the rotation. Now, speaking of the rotation, let's run on in here to this. You know what? I'm not gonna go there yet. I'm gonna go there, then go here. Let's talk about. I'm wondering, when I was growing up, were those exhibition fights that we were seeing from those old dudes, like were those real fights or exhibition fights? Because we have Tyson. You know what I'm saying? When you're young, you don't know.
Yeah.
But we have Tyson, looking at Tyson and Floyd Mayweather fight. Everyone knows this is an exhibition fight. You have, I don't want to put all this in the group. You have big name Ronda Rousey being sponsored by Netflix.
Yeah.
So this is the scariest part of sports. And people thought I was playing when I put up a post about the gladiator and how the Greek gladiator situation. I'm gonna bring that up later. I'm playing with it now. I'm gonna bring it up later. These sports are peaking so fast with new people to where your old hot people feel like, oh, we're going to do an exhibition match because we know we draw crowds and y'all haven't been drawing crowds. This is like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock still having to come back for WrestleManias.
Yeah.
You know, this is it. I'm gonna bring it up when we bring it up because it's gonna lead right into it. But are they getting out of hand with this? Like, because I know the Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather thing is an ego trip. They probably was sitting down on the couch saying, well, if I had streaming in the 90s, if I had that money in the 90s, that stuff you was doing, I would have had your money. Man, please, Mike. Man, please, Mike. You couldn't. I birthed you. Boy, don't try me like that. I made that happen in the heavyweight category. You came along, and I'm not taking anything away from it. But it's almost like they was bantering with each other like that, and then a light bulb came on and said, "Hey, let's do this. 3 rounds, 4 rounds." I'm like, "Come on, man. Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. I just don't see I think it's ridiculous. Two completed weight class. They would never have met in their primes because Mike outweighs him by like 70 pounds. I think it's ridiculous.
Mike actually had people in Floyd's weight class in their prime. Like Mike is Iran Barkley. He might have been too heavy, but it's some Michael Carbajal. It's some what was his name? Pee Wee Pernell Wilson kind of Michael Aaron. Like that's like Mike fighting Pernell.
Yeah.
In his height.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's trying to stay too long.
Yeah, I don't think that it is. At least if you're gonna do this, have it be somebody have it be in your weight class.
That's how you know it's like crazy.
Yeah, and it's the exhibition, and it's worse than Rocky when he fought. What is this?
Thunder Lips? No, he was wrestling.
No. The last Rocky Balboa when he fought. When he fought Tarver.
Yeah, when Antonio Tarver played. Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but it's one of those exhibition fights. What's the point of an exhibition fight? You're in there. Are you fighting to win, or are you fighting just to keep somebody getting hurt, or what?
I'm telling you what the point is. The point is we're looking at.
You're gonna go. That would have been a good fight. Oh, that would have been interesting.
I'd rather see it on AI. But what you're looking at is. I'm just saying. What you're looking at is the two boys the two young white men that's running that just got beat up by punched to death. I don't remember the name, but him. You're looking at them making all this money.
Oh, the Pauls.
The Pauls. Yeah. And you know whose fault it is? It's our fault. Because Floyd and Mike gonna set that up, and all them ladies and all them jokers gonna still go get on that Netflix and go to a bar and go make them people money off this mess. It's just what we gonna do.
Yeah, it's
what we gonna do.
Mike is in his 60s. We don't need that. Floyd is in his 40s now. In Floyd is about 50 now.
Floyd got to be about 50. Or he's 49 easy.
Yeah,
hold on.
Because what is it? He's 50-0, and I think he's 50. But it's ridiculous, man.
He'll be 49 by the fight.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. These two should not be in there fighting, sparring. That's what it is. They shouldn't be sparring.
He just had a birthday.
Yeah,
No, he
they
about to
shouldn't
have
be.
a birthday. Yeah, he be
They
49.
shouldn't be in the sparring. I don't like it. I'm more intrigued by Ronda Rousey making a comeback and fighting on this girl in
Yeah.
MMA. I mean, at least that had some sizzle.
And you know what? Nothing against Ronda, but when she did the Entourage movie, we should have been seeing Ronda by this point being a Marvel hero. I'm done with all that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like if you can still come back, what that's saying is the future of your sport has not produced
Somebody else.
somebody. We're supposed to look at you like, boy,
This is her being, now she's doing MMA. So we're gonna see if she can grapple. Because she was a
just
boxer.
a
So
name.
so now we're gonna have to see, can she grapple, can she get down on the ground, because this girl, I can't remember her name, she's a kickboxer.
She's a kickboxer. Excuse me, Ronda.
Yeah.
I saw what you did to Turtle. Don't get me right. I ain't saying you no slouch in any way. I'm not saying that you wrong. Now, if you want to break my arm for a date, I'm all for it. You know,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, when I said, "Oh, she's just a name," that ain't what I meant. Now, you know, I know what I know what you can do. I'm just saying you're a legend and shouldn't be in there. That's what I'm saying. Not shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
Because you can't get in there. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, Ronda.
Yeah.
You know, don't
It's ridiculous. It's just, this is the equivalent of when Jim Brown decided he was going to race Franco Harris in 1984 because he didn't think that, he thought he was going to be able to make a comeback at the age of 47, and he was upset about Franco possibly breaking his rushing record. And Jim Brown came out the hole, and after 2 steps, he pulled a hamstring.
Now here's what we want, and I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going to segue into, because I want to make this statement. This is the equivalent. See, I'm gonna say this is the equivalent of like because it was still pretty good when they was 40. So I'm not gonna say they needed it. There was some slow ones, but there was still some pretty good ones hanging out in there. Year 2000, maybe 2010, and then beyond. But at any rate, this is the equivalent to saying, "Hey, Dominique, MJ, dunk contest getting kind of slow. Can y'all come out and It's gonna be different now. It's gonna be different now. We're gonna let y'all use trampoline. You get one dunk with a trampoline because we know y'all still can do your flare. It's just your leg. You know, that's what it's the equivalent of. You know, the youth still produced.
Yeah.
The youth still produced. You don't have to go back and reach back to go find somebody to do something for you. Now, I said all that to say, is the NBA All-Star Game another useless All-Star Game like the Pro Bowl? I think the Pro Bowl and the NBA All-Star Game are different. I do. But because one, you've already gotten beat up, you know what I'm saying? And I think the mastery of the playing, as we stated in another one, from both ends, you're negotiating some deals. You know, oh, if you do this, let me show you this. NBA All-Star, it's easy to play a pickup game. It's easy to play a competitive pickup game rather than it is a collision sport. That's all I'm saying. That's why I say it's different and ask it to be competitive.
Yeah,
but I said on a post, or on a short, that it need to have NBA All-Star. I mean, it needs to have a level of incentive to where, and I'm just gonna say East and West, repeating it again. The East team and the West team, if you play, or the blue team and the red team, if you all picking and it's not East and West anymore. The losing team, that All-Star sits out the first round of the NBA playoffs. That makes, to me, the game competitive.
It means something. Yeah, it'll mean something.
It'll mean something. And what I'm saying is, people are looking at that like, that's a little too much. That's a little too risky. If you got one All-Star and it's the first round of the playoffs, you're playing a low seed. It might get risky. I might need to adjust that with the seed if you're the number one seed or whatever. I don't know. But it might get risky when you lose your All-Star and you're the 4 playing a 5 or something. It might get a little risky. I get that. But my thing is, now you're playing with an incentive and you have your guy, like say your guy is on the East. He might say, let me go hard on the other team. Let me go hard on him because, just like I said in the thing, if Patrick Ewing knew, if Reggie Miller knew, see, they were doing East and West End. But if they knew there's an opportunity to get Michael out of here and make my path clear,
they play harder.
I'm getting him out of here.
Yeah, you got to do something to make it competitive and make it interesting, because As of now, it's like there's no defense, and people trying to see, hey, who gonna shoot a three, or who's gonna come up and have a nice slam. I mean, it's nothing. It's no defense. It's not even a pickup game because there's no kind of defense whatsoever. There's just and that's it. I don't like all. I think that it would be better. I don't see the point in playing an All-Star game in the middle of the season anyway. I've never understood that. Just like baseball, why would you play it in the middle of the season? Your All-Stars might not be All-Star by the end of the season. They might have had a good first half, and the second half they go into the toilet.
And they knew it was a popularity contest even when they did that, but there are coaches and peers kind of voting. Like I think the fans vote starters.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is still peer oriented, coach oriented. So they still have that concept within it. But just like them boys said, we were looking at the film, and it don't look that competitive to me.
Yeah. I mean,
it was. I hate to say it, but and I don't try to step on no basketball player. So whatever you see, that's what you assess.
Mm-hmm.
But your as a player, understand this, and maybe you can follow me. Your vision of what a competitive All-Star game is does not matter for the All-Star game. It's the fans' vision of a competitive game that matters in All-Star. Not you, Katie. Not you, Ant-Man. It's if the fan says y'all out there lollygagging.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I get that you're a player and you're saying, no, that's a fans. Because we know you're going to play regular season, even if the fans watch it. But on the All-Star, you have to give the assessment of how it looks to the fans.
Yeah, if the fans are pleased with it, okay, so be it. But if they're not, you need to say, well, what is it that why don't you like it? What is it about this All-Star game that you don't like? Y'all don't play worth a damn.
That's all we saying.
We're trying to keep from getting injured. So if that's the case, move it to the end of the season. Or if you're concerned about getting injured, decide that you're not going to play and let somebody else get in and play.
Now, having said all that, make sure you watch every week, even in the off season, the No Jazz Show, which stands for Not Just Another Sports Show, where we discuss all of the things outside of sports, inside of sports. We in the box, we out the box. And you can follow us on YouTube at NOJASSSHOW. Find our Facebook page at NOJASSSHOW. Our Instagram page at THE No Jazz Show. Cause I'm about to cut this off because I see my boy. He ain't gotta be at work early as I do. But then again, he do. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold him like that. But anyway, make sure you like.
I'm off tomorrow.
What you doing all that for? I see you over there. I ain't calling you out. I'm just saying I'm looking out. Because I know when I get it, I know when I get ready to do it, I do it. But you know what? This might be your day. Because Friday is remote day, be off day. I get it. We straight. But make sure you follow, like, subscribe. We on X. We're on TikTok. Find us live on my page, DZNIVEK. On Russell Tanker's page, RUSSELL. Tank. Now, I want to ask Tank, because we have covered everything, if he has any final words that don't begin with the letter Z. Because he look like he want to catch.
Got a few
hey, what's up? You know me.
I'll just say, particularly college football, NIL, whatever. Y'all need to do something about this. And guys get all these extra years to play.
Oh my God!
There's no reason for I can't even remember his name. Last name started with a T. The linebacker from Montana is now been granted his 9th year of eligibility to play college football. Come on, man. I don't care if he's had a season-ending injury twice or 3 times. You got to draw the line somewhere. For me, 5 years. Because after your 5th season, that's it. I don't care. If you blew your knee out 4 years, you only get 1 year to play. We not letting you get all that. I'm sorry. 9 years, he ought to have his PhD by the time he graduates. Are these guys staying on scholarship all these years? Are they on scholarship? Are they taking full loads of classes? Are you a beyond grad student now? Or you just playing ball and then you dropping the half part-time, after the season. I don't understand it. Why are you giving guys this much time to play college football. And some of these guys some of them might be getting a little NIL money. It doesn't make sense. After your 5th season, that's it. It's a possibility on a very, very, very rare occasion. You might get a 6th. But this boy been in school damn near a decade. He entered college as a teenager. He wasn't able to drink. He's gonna leave college almost a 30-year-old man, probably married with children.
Super
Give me
duper
a damn.
Steve.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. He came in. Let's say he came in at 18. He's gonna be 28 years old when he finishes.
No military.
Come on, man. He didn't go overseas doing a missionary trip for 2 years with BYU. It doesn't make sense. They got to put a kibosh on this, man, because this doesn't make any sense. And they also need to stop these kids from transferring in the portal because they don't get to start somewhere, or they want to go somewhere else because they don't like it, because all the pretty girls they showed them to get them to come to their school, they weren't paying them any attention when they got there because they already had a boyfriend who was the starting fullback. They need to do something about that. Do something with the portal, do something with NIL, and do something with all this, not extra eligibility, says eligibility. There's kids in high school who are probably missing out because want to play another year college. Y'all got to do better. NCAA, you got to do better. You got to do better. You've always messed up stuff. Now you had the opportunity to do the right thing, and you screwed that up too. Put a kibosh on all this excessive eligibility, and put a kibosh on all this hopping around, basically job hunting, going to a different college every year because you couldn't start here, you couldn't start there. If you've been to 3 schools and you still hadn't won the starting position, maybe it's not the school or the coach or the program. Maybe it's you. Hey,
shout out to 2 things. Well, shout out to this. Shout out to the word kibosh. only on not just another sports show will you hear the word kibosh, because we know all of y'all. We know all of these people on social media and the internet are visual learners and they like videos. You couldn't have put that word kibosh in a typed out post and it would have left the building without anybody seeing it. But Tank threw that kibosh in there. Boy, I'm trying to tell you, but there's some people out here heard that word and think that is something you buy and put on your hot sausage at the fair. Kibosh. And just to piggyback off what you're saying, and I ain't gonna take long. I think COVID about to put a cap on all of that too. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it'll be capped at 8, because we don't need anybody leaving a real job to go to football and basketball practice. Because that is what it sounds like they're doing when you get in your 9th year of eligibility. You are not going to class. I'm sorry. You at work. You leave. You know.
What other degree are you gonna get? You in your 9th year.
Yeah.
You already read your dissertation.
I got to put in this PTO. I got a bowl game. That's crazy. That's crazy. But at any rate, for my final words, mine might be a little hit refresh because I'm going off the topic of sports. But as I said earlier, man, we lost an activist. You know, a lot of people want to. He was never into politics. He was never into finance. He just ran for president twice. We lost Jesse Jackson this week. And in the midst of losing Jesse Jackson, man, I'm trying to tell you, every conspiracy, every plot to make him look good, plot to make him look bad, somebody saying they knew him, it's a photo op, all of this stuff is coming out. And even on Black History Month, that's why I'm kind of not disagreeing with a lot of the history that's coming out about it, especially with us as a people still feeling like all of this political strife that we're having internally as a people are coming out. So MLK's name came back up, Mr. Jackson's name came back up, Booker T. Washington's name came back up. A whole lot of things have come back up since the 60s. So what I'm saying is this, and I might even put myself in the mix of this too. As I stated before, and I don't know if I can say African American anymore, because I heard African American is about to be obsolete, an obsolete term. But at any rate, we as African Americans, while African Americans still exist, I think that it's time to, like I said, we gravitate towards the visual. We gravitate towards the visual. We don't. I'm not saying we can't read. It's just we gravitate towards the visual. We need to see the visual of it. And then it gives us an opportunity to go back and relate it to how Tank may feel against what I feel, how somebody else feels against what Tank feels. So on social media or, within your internal think tank and round tables of internal family blackness, office blackness, or whatever, your crew. But I'm saying we as a people, black people, I think it's only fair, and I think we've matured enough, and I'm asking all filmmakers and all writers to take this challenge. I think we as a people have matured enough to put something on the screen, not just documentary. And I know it can be swayed in any way. I think we need to put something on the screen that allows people to see a depiction of what really happened during the civil rights movement period, the Martin Luther King period. I even think we need to go back and redo a version of Roots, because everybody wasn't going through that. Was that based on a plantation in Georgia? Not Georgia, but like Mississippi or something.
Mississippi.
Everybody didn't go through that. I think we've matured enough and we understand that the media has taught all of us, because now the people in their 50s and the people in their 70s are still around him. And then they've got this youth movement going on. And I hate to be long-winded, but I'm saying I think we matured enough as a people and have heard everything. We've seen real live reverends go through things in our lifetime to understand that reverends and pastors are even humans. Shout out to Drewski. We're humans. We backslide. I think we're mature enough as a people where now we can tell the story of maybe Martin Luther King at 5'7" and Jesse Jackson hanging with each other, riding around on a tour on the Chitlin circuit at their age, got into a little something. They're young. Maybe they caught up. Maybe that little girl looked at that 6'3" Jesse Jackson, but she liked the popularity of the 5'7" Martin Luther and did something. Tell the story. Tell it. I think black people are mature enough to understand that we are human enough to know everybody didn't wear a cape. Everybody wasn't perfect. Everybody is not monolithic in the African American community. They were arguing with each other about ideologies. Malcolm didn't get along with all of them. People didn't get along with what Malcolm was saying. I think we deserve some level of depiction, and you take it for what you want to take it for. If you don't like what he did, another filmmaker, you get it. Pick the stories. Tell another truth, because we are aware that somebody gave us a truth to believe. And we sitting up here arguing about and going back and forth about something somebody gave our grandparents that they handed down to us, and now we're digging in and finding all this information and we throwing it at each other, and we get mad at each other about what we throwing at each other. And it's open to feeling for yourself. But like I said, everybody don't gravitate toward those books. Everybody's not gonna read that. Everybody ain't feeling all them documentaries. But I saw what they did get. I saw what they did want to see. Film it. Put it out there. Let people gravitate toward that, and then it might make them go grab more information in the book. Because a lot of things I do see, people be like, oh, well, the book said more, and I go grab the book. You know what I'm saying? But I think in closing, we are just doing a whole lot of, oh, I don't like this version of this person in 2026. Well, this is what he was doing in 1996. Oh, well, my ego won't allow me to believe what you saying. And we yelling at each other. All of us are victims of something somebody gave us, and our ego. That's all it is. Our ego will not allow us to attach ourselves to our discernment and look at things from both angles. And then say, this is what I choose for myself versus what you choose for yourself. But I get it. Because there's a story out there that somebody protected. And I understand why they protected it, because we probably weren't ready for that. People need to know, why is it always so comfortable for them to put reverends in front of our face? Like as if we don't have engineers, as if we don't have finance people, as if we don't have people who are entrepreneurs and billionaires back in the 60s and the 70s, as if we didn't have people who went to court and had slaves get back on their plantation and create chattel slavery forever. Tell the stories, man, because I'm tired of us going back and forth as a people, cooning each other, Uncle Tom and each other. You cannot expect a society of people who said, I'm going to make my child better, and you sent your child to a PWI and your child come out with a conservative mindset versus a child that went to an HBCU and they're more liberal. You set that child up for that for good reason. And you set the other child up for that for good reason. But y'all clashing back and forth. That's crazy to me. I'm tired of arguing with my friends who don't see it the way I see it. And people might say, you shouldn't be arguing on social media anyway. No, it's not that. It's coming to a conclusion to where we really be battling. Like this internal thing going on, and a lot of these truths are being revealed. That man probably did not get along with him at the end. MLK probably did change his mind. Why? Jesse probably did get touched. Ralph probably did get touched. Ralph probably was in a situation that said, hey, my family need to be protected by this. Probably was some communism and some Marxism. Probably was some people saying, hey, I don't want to get on the bus with them no more. We just figured it out. Tell the story instead of arguing and using that man in the White House as your reason to keep it. We got something we need to fix internally.
Yeah.
Male, female, woman, and child. Churches, all us. Universities, all us. We need to fix it. But anyway, this has been the No Jazz Show. NOJASS. I thank you for joining us. I thank you for coming out. It's always a pleasure to have you all. Make sure, again, you follow, like, subscribe. We are on YouTube. We are on our Facebook page at NOJASSSHOW. I probably said too many S's. But we are on X. We are on Twitter. Find us live on Riverside.fm. Find us live on Russell Tanker's page, RUSSELLTANKER. Live on my page and the links. DUPONTZ NIVEK. That's where you can find us, man. We love you all for coming out. We love you all for spending time with us. Any people that salute. I'll let y'all later.
Holla.